Welcome back, friends. Last guy friend. It's time for more Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. So let's keep going here. So we're gonna go see the our client Hairbrain, who I have no idea what voice I'm giving that guy. I should give him Butts as a voice. That's what I should give him. Hey, Phoenix, help me out, Phoenix. The prison cell where the defendant Professor Hairbrain is being held. The contrast with the great exhibition grounds makes the darkness in here seem all the more oppressive. Here's where your client is, isn't it? Let's find out what the story is. Here we go. Probably go back to Von Zeke's. I'm reading a book. 22nd October, local prison cell 11. The warden said cell 11. That's this one. Oh, there's someone curled up in a ball in the back corner, look. What's his name again? Professor Albert Hairbrain? Wasn't it? Excuse me, Professor Hairbrain. I just want to do my worst German voice, which is, who are you? You are the one who is going to defend me? No way. Voice, because we heard he's supposed to be British, right? But I have, like, no good British voice. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Yeah, you know, let's just do that. Let's just do that one. Just, give him a shaggier voice. Who are you? I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a defense lawyer. A lawyer? Oh my god, yeah, we're doing this. Ah, was it something I said? A lawyer, you say? Would you be here about the experiment? Are you going to defend my hypothesis? Suddenly, this is the voice that's coming. Your hypothesis? Sorry, I don't. Yesterday's demonstration! That magnificent demonstration was... It was an out-and-out success, by anyone's calculations. But despite that, no one listens, no lawyer believes in the science. When explained, they all leave at high velocity. His motions are weird. Now's probably not a good time to mention that your zeal made my concentration leave for a while there, too. Converse with this guy. Yesterday's demonstration. You mentioned the demonstration yesterday. The papers have called it a spectacular failure. After all, a man died in the explosion, didn't he? Yes, you could interpret the results that way if you really wanted to. Well, I suppose in the strictest sense. The experiment was a fail, but at the same time it was a great success. You've lost me. I saw it with my own eyes, right there in front of me. Mr. Asmund was spontaneously disassembled. Until then, everything was going exactly as my calculations had predicted. At that point, he should have been beamed to the crystal tower by instantaneous kinesis. However, the machine exploded and Mr. Asmund in fact perished. Yes, I can't deny that part of the experiment was a failure. So what you're really saying is the large explosion that killed Mr. Asmund was an accident, correct? But the bigwigs had you arrested on suspicion of murder. I was responsible for a man's death. That is the immutable truth here. And for that I wish to be punished. At once. But... Murder? Never in a million years. It was an accident. Simply an accident. I see. Howie and I were talking this morning, you know. He said the situation would change completely depending on whether it was treated as an accident or murder. How exactly? Well, if it really was an accident, then the professor's machine would be kept in protective custody. On what grounds? Ah, yes. It's newly established here in Britain. The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. That one passed me by. But if the case is treated as murder, then they'll say my machine was the murder weapon, and they'll be able to pore over it as much as they like. If they examine it in detail, they'll find out how it's made, and then They'll be able to copy my idea. My precious hypothesis will be stolen. The machine must be protected from that at all costs. That's why it's imperative that this whole incident be shown to have been an accident in tomorrow's trial. Oh, I see now. Instantaneous kinesis. So, in short, there was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition Showground yesterday. Yes, or rather no, the devil is in the details. Strictly speaking, there was a terrible explosion. Sounds the same to me. You were demonstrating super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, weren't you? How fascinating. Humans, like all matter, are made up of particles that are held together by electrical bonds. So it must be possible, using a sufficiently high voltage, to break those bonds and move particles through space. That's it in a nutshell. That's my idea, you see? That's my amazing hypothesis. Gosh, that's unimaginably high-level science. Oh, but dare to imagine it. Dare to dream of such incredible technology. Oh god, I wish I could do an evil German voice. This guy looks perfect for it. Just think, one moment I could be in here in the cell, and the next, I could be at the Great Exhibition again. Well, yes, that would be incredible. And the next, in the mere blink of an eye, I could be at a great Parisian theatre, say. The possibilities are endless. The whole of our vast planet would be within reach. Say no more hiding in wardrobes on rocky seas for 50 days? So no more. I don't really see it like that. What do you mean, Iris? Well, if you could follow anyone in the world instantaneously, the planet wouldn't really seem vast anymore, would it? I think it would feel like it had shrunk. But would it? My word, that's exactly right. What are the implications? What does this mean? Oops, that got Professor Bunny Boy really worried by the look of it. Clearly, this is yet another case of just because you can doesn't mean you should, I suppose. This is not Jurassic Park. The point is, my calculations are flawless. The science works. Without a practical demonstration, it means nothing. And that's always the fly in the ointment. Because practical demonstrations cost a lot of money. Money that young scientists like you don't have. That's exactly it, yes. Isn't he like 39? Young? Court record. How old is he? Like how she's still in this, despite the fact she hasn't been around. Masked man. 33! How he hasn't seen him 20 years since college? Am I just bad at memory? Yes, I am. Yes, that's exactly it, yes. Always complaining about it. He says the government should invest more in science. Well, anyway, I bumped into him at the right time. I met the well-known investor, Mr. Asman. The victim who died in yesterday's terrible accident, you mean? The Reaper's varsity years. I understand Lord Von Zeeks is a friend of yours from your university days? Yes, that's right. He was studying law whilst I was studying science. What was he like back then? A good question. Unassuming, gentlemanly, and all-around nice fellow, I really. Sorry, I think you misheard me. I'm talking about the cold-hearted, merciless prosecutor, Barak Von Zeeks. What was he like when he was at university? Talk about a leading question, Wuno. As I said, an unassuming, extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he is the little darling of the Von Zeeks family, with all its great aristocratic origins. I didn't realize he had such noble blood. Little darling? It was a bit of a shock when I came back to Britain and learned what he'd become. The Reaper of the Bailey, no less. Yes, that's right. I did hear, though, that there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after graduation. I swear to God, if it's a freaking... If it's an elevator incident... Really? What sort of event? I'm sorry. but I don't know him anymore. I wasn't in the country at the time. I was in Germany already. Oh, yes, of course. If he's heard all about the Reaper, I really don't have the heart to tell him that Lord Von Zieks will be the prosecutor in court tomorrow. Victim. The full name of the man who died in yesterday's accident was Mr. Odie Osman? Still can't figure out what the joke is there, wasn't it? What exactly was your relationship with him? He first visited me in my laboratory in Germany a year ago now. He said he wanted to invest in my immaculate hypothesis. I thanked my lucky stars. I see, so you hadn't really known each other until then. Money for scientific research? I'm so envious. As far as I was concerned, the man was an angel. Oh, really? An archangel, even. He was prepared to fund a practical demonstration of my hypothesis for presentation at the Great Exhibition. And if that went well, I could expect additional financial support for my research from the British government. Mr. Hasman provided me with money and an exceptional engineer. Engineer! That's the trick. He produced a machine to my precise specifications. But then your dreams were blown into dust in one enormous explosion. As you can see, I owed everything to Mr. Hasman. I would never, ever have thought of taking the man's life. Well, he seems genuine enough. I don't think he's lying. And so ends that. So, Professor, let me just make absolutely sure I've understood you properly. The huge explosion that occurred yesterday, that was an accident, you're saying? You had no intent to harm the victim, who was in fact the sole investor in your work? Is that correct? What if Asmon's just faking his death, right? As correct as 2 squared is 4. I swear it. Yes, it's true that the man perished in a machine of my invention. So I know that I'm far from blameless in all this, but still, I would never use my discoveries and my inventions to take a person's life. Not in a centillion years. I'm a man of science, it's all I know. You have to believe me, please. Do you believe me? Do you believe in my hypothesis? Science is the pursuit of truth, you know. A man after my own heart. Science is the pursuit of truth. I've always believed that all my life. I'm afraid I don't know much about science or your theories. But I do believe you, and I will fight to prove your innocence with all my might. I'm a man of the law. It's all I know. You have to believe me, please. When I went to live in Germany after I graduated, I learned something very important. Nationality, class, lineage, none of that matters. As long as you try your hardest, you can achieve anything. Thank you for that, Professor. And thank you in advance for defending me tomorrow in court. Alright, Luna. It's time. Time to visit the Great Exhibition. Sorry. Well, that's what incident happened, isn't it? Aiming a gun at me all the time. Yes, I suppose that's true. Time to investigate at last. Bah! New location been added. Experimentation stage. The experimentation stage at the Great Exhibition and the scene of the crime. You haven't been to this place yet. Don't forget to take me with you when you go. Yeah, you're coming, little girl, of course. Bringing a little girl named Iris. Crystal Tower, 22nd October, the Great Exhibition Grounds, foot of the Crystal Tower. Showgrounds are a little too big for my liking. We've been walking around in dense crowds for 2 hours now, and I felt myself swooning 3 times. Swooning? There are a lot of people, aren't there? I've almost been trodden on 3 times, too. Be careful, won't you, Iris? Don't let go of my hand. We finally made it through the throngs, though, by the look of it. Here we are, underneath the public experimentation stage where the explosion happened yesterday. Woo! What's that? I can hear voices from up on the stage. It sounds like an argument. Ah, crap, it's Guinea! No! No, it's a voice I'm bad at! No! Well, there's a voice I'm mostly good at, Gregson, if I can get the right... Right! I've had it with you this time! I warn you, I'll arrest you in a minute! No! No! Guinea, leave! I need you out of here now! Ah, God, what was my Guinea voice? Let's do it. Let's just do a crappy Irish or Scottish accent. Oh yeah? Go on then, Inspector. Give it a shot. You ain't got no evidence and you know it. That's me also trying to be girly at the same time with it. Wait, I know those voices. You've got a cheeky little mouth on you, young lady. But a night in the cells will teach you some manners. Just try it, I dare you. And if you want that bag of chips round and down your throat. I'm doing it. I'm doing this bad voice. You, Gwagsy, what are you doing up there? Oh, you see what's on her bag? It's like two little figures. Huh? I love that reaction shot. Ah! Ah! It's you! Here! You're here! Here you are! You! Here! Your ladyship! Oh my god. How are you, your ladyship? I do hope you're well, your ladyship. Does that make her 3 times a lady? Oh my god, this joke. I know, well. It's far too busy everywhere. I wanted to widen a balloon, but there was a 2-hour queue. Unbelievable! I'll go and have a word for you at once, your ladyship. You'll be flying as high as a kite in no time once I pull some strings for you. Oh my god. Don't reintroduce Gregson. Oh my god, we're introducing Gregson. Tobias Gregson, an inspector at Scotland Yard. Until recently, he was suspended from duty, but it would appear he's back in action now. He's actually quite well known, appearing as he does in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And for that reason, you can't see a word wrong in the story's author, Iris. But there are limits, surely. Or there should be. Watch it, sunshine! So racist when you think about it. Sorry? What gives then? Don't tell me you're on this case. Yes, I'm acting for the defense. Son of a bitch! So we're here to investigate. Dear me, that's the situation, is it? Is it really that troubling? A measly 5 bob. Is that all you got? You're a lawyer, ain't you? We could stand to carry a bit more copper around in your pockets, Mr. Narioto. What? Hey, that's my last bit of spending money, that is. Don't care. You can have it back. But I'll have to charge you for all the bother. 3 bob. Guinea Lestrade. Yep, Gina Lestrade. This is Gina Lestrade, pickpocketer diver born and bred in the East End of London. In the case that led to my own suspension 6 months ago, this is the young girl I was defending in court, and did not want to see ever again, because of this voice. What's your problem, Odo? Diver? Pickpocket? What's with all the name calling? You wanna... I like that they give her the accented talking so I don't have to do it myself. You want a bag of chips rammed down your throat and all, do you? I thought you were proud to be a diver, Gina. You were just arguing with Inspector Gregson about it, weren't you? I assumed you'd been up to your usual tricks here at the showground. That ain't no way to talk to a lady, Odo. Half a year's a long time. People can change. I'm an apprentice now, learning to be a Scotland Yard detective. Seriously? Okay, guess now it's going, huh? You have to call me what everyone else does, and it's Inspector Lestrade now. This makes sense considering the books. Lestrade was a helper of Sherlock Holmes. Inspector? That badge is homemade, surely. The inspector part isn't entirely accurate. No one calls it that. For what it's worth, anyway. Investigating is off the cards for all of us. What is that supposed to mean? Right, well, I'll be back up top. You hold the fort down here, alright? Right, sir. This raises a lot of questions. Guess we're talking to Gina. Alright. Converse! About Gina. Interesting music. It was 8 months ago now that I first encountered Gina, in connection with a case I was working on. At the time, she was living in the East End with a group of other orphans. She helped all of them survive by pickpocketing, but then she got embroiled in a murder. I had a lot of time to think in prison. I realized I couldn't go on like I was. The diving weren't working out. Oh, I'm so pleased to hear, Wakini. Well done. So, you went from being a pickpocket to a detective? We got it. Good, ain't it, Inspector Lestrade? Sounds like something out of a book, eh? It literally is. Talk about a sea change. And then there's Iris's old man to think about. Iris's father, you mean? Yeah, I promised her, didn't I? I said I'd get all the police forces around the world to pull out all the stops looking for him. Just a small promise, then. Nothing serious. Promise we know the fate. Oh, Guinea, you're so sweet. So anyway, that's how come I had to go out to test for the Scotland Yard. Only trouble is I don't read so well, do I? Just a small problem, nothing serious. And that's when Harry approached Gracie and asked for help. The inspector said he'd take full responsibility for Guinea and made her a sort of apprentice. That was very magnanimous of Inspector Gregson, and brave. Well, you know, Harry, he enjoys finding ways to make people do what he wants. The great detective likes digging for dirt, in other words. So the long and short of it is, if you've got questions about the case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade. Right then, Inspector. Actually, there's still a big mystery surrounding Gina, isn't there? Oh, well, wanna what? Well, 6 months ago, Gina was the defendant in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper. A trial in which she was found not guilty, and yet here she is still. Come on, you're not still on about that, are you? The Legend of the Reaper, or whatever it's called. Cole, you don't have worry. Cole, you don't have worry, Otto. If I didn't half worry, there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of you left. It's like I told you before, ain't it? The Reaper's kinda like him upstairs. So he knows what I'm like on the inside, that I ain't really done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong might be stretching a bit. What about Mr. Natsume in Japan? He's perfectly fine, isn't he? Well, that's true. Perhaps the Reaper is more discerning than I thought. Exactly. So ain't worried. I'm totally fine. He ends up dead in Case 5. Yesterday's incident. Oh, I was out of this world, it was. The brainy bloke pulled a bunch of levers on it and on his machine, and suddenly it started billowing smoke. Then it just went pop. I ain't seen a better experiment here yet. Sorry? You mean you saw it, Guinea? With your own eyes? Yeah, of course. The boss is in charge here, ain't he? Of keeping everything running smooth, I mean. The boss being Inspector Gregson, I suppose? That's going to take some getting used to. All I had to say is that I'm on duty. And I can do whatever I want to do. Get this, I was up in one of them flying balloons when it happened. Watch it from above. No, you're so wacky, Guinea. Maybe I should join Scotland Yard too. Yeah, do it. You know how to put the boss in his place already, right, Iris? You'd have no trouble at all. Then it's settled. When do I start? No. You can't join Scotland Yard, Iris. Well, see. Anyway, what I don't understand is this. Did the machine explode so spectacularly? How can Professor Bonnyboyne still be claiming that his experiment was a success? Alright, well, it was a success, in a way. It was? How could it have been? Just do it. Surely after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success. It's like I said, it did sort of work. I mean, yeah, there was a load of smoke and that whopping big great bang. Is the body not found? But where do you think they found the victim's body, eh? In Crystal Tower over there. Oh my god, they found his body over there? What? In the tower? Yeah, he got blasted through that hole. Oh shoot! Woo! You can see it yourself, can't you? Right there above the scaffold. Oh, well, the glass is broken, you mean? Really shot that energy over there. Yeah, the gauge what the victim got in to start with really did get beamed through the air or whatever and landed all the way over there. So you see, it did kind of work, didn't it? What? I don't believe it. I mean, I don't get the ins and outs of it, but anything's possible, right? With science. Oh, I tell you what, you can have this. It's a plan of the experiment they drew up at the yard. Are you sure? Yeah, go on. I had 3 bob off you before, so fair's fair. Yes, I didn't actually give that to you, did I? The sketch of the experiment has been entered in the code tracker. Take a look at it. Before you continue with them, take a look at this. What am I looking at? Alright, it's a thing. The balloon is there. Don't know what I'm looking at, but that's going to be important later. Read this. Diagram showing the relative positions of the Crystal Tower and Professor Harebrain's machine that exploded. Okay. Something Inspector Gregson said before seemed a little strange. For what it's worth, anyway. Investigating is off the cards for all of us. Yes, now the old Quagsy ran off after without explaining himself. Alright, that. The boss said no one's allowed to investigate that weird machine what blew up yesterday. Well, that's not fair. The representative with defendant. In that case, could you at least tell us what you've learned from the investigation? Nah, you got not getting it. You ain't allowed to investigate neither. Why? What did the boss call him again? The forensic investigation team, I think. Anyway, apart from them lot, no one's allowed to lay a finger on the scene. Bit funny, isn't it? So even Scotland Yard's own detectives can investigate. Yes, I've never heard something like that before. I thought I could have a gander on the quiet though, but the boss caught me at it. You probably heard him giving me an earful about it before from down here, didn't you? It's not bleeding fair. I think you were giving him as much of an earful back as I remember. Yeah, well, sometimes I think it's all them chips what make him so stubborn. You say something to him, Dodo. Go on, see if you can get through to him. He's up on that platform above, is he? Where the machine that exploded is? We can try, can't we, Wuno? Thanks for listening to us. Alright. Before we do that... Oh look, what's this? A wood piece of cloth? It's not like any fabric I've seen before. It's very thick and stiff. It looks extremely durable. It's canvas, I think, with some sort of rubber backing. And the edges appear to be a bit charred as well. Maybe that means it had something to do with the explosion? Let's make a note of it while Guinea's mid-yawn. Oh my god. A piece of canvas-like material backed with rubber that was found under the experimentation stage at the exhibition grounds. There are scorch marks at the edges. Probably not. Oh, there's that thing over there. For some reason, the ground is damaged in this spot. Look. Almost as if there was a fire here or something. Yes, if you look closely, there's some scattered ash and burnt embers too. Well, suppose there was a big explosion just above here. People probably wouldn't bat an eyelid at a small fire like this would have been. I'm not sure we English are quite that way back, Wuno. Yeah, here's the thing. Ah, it looks as though somebody dropped something behind the tree just here. dropped, or hid. What is this? Some sort of machine that exploded? Maybe. It could have fallen from the platform above in the blast, perhaps. What's going on here? Oh, nothing. I think I'll hang on to this just in case. Mysterious contraption has been entered in the core record. Some mysterious contraption. Okay. The Crystal Tower. It's certainly an apt name. It was built to be the focal point of the exhibition, and it definitely is, being so tall and with all that glass. Can't imagine a building like this ever being erected in Japan. Oh, there's Tokyo Tower. There are lots of exhibits inside the tower as well, apparently. Of course, there's an observation deck, but there's also an art gallery, a zoo, and a museum. I heard you have to queue for 3 hours just to get through the door. Well, at the moment, the shattered glass and the failed experiment may well be the biggest draw. And thanks to that accident, the whole tower is shut. Suddenly, it's not the Crystal Tower anymore, but the Crystal Glass Shower. Apparently, everyone's taken to the skies now to look down on the disaster hour from above instead. But there's a 3-hour queue to go up in a balloon now. Londoners must be very patient people. Last thing to look at. That's where the Cove ended up after its instant kinesis or whatever they call it. Dead, of course. And yet they're calling the experiment a success? What's the wood scaffold there for? The coppers are lads set up that after that incident happened. You get the body down, I think. Don't know really. Didn't you help to erect the scaffold then? Nah, lookout duty's more my thing. Wandering around the exhibit and keeping a lookout for the fun stuff. Mind Gregson doesn't hear you saying that or he'll give you the boot. It's incredible though, isn't it? I mean, could the victim really have bridged that gap by some sort of invisible kinesis? I think the explosion was pretty visible. Alright, let's go get the hell of Gregsy. These stairs obviously lead to the stage above. We should go up there and investigate the exact spot where the experiment was being conducted. There it is, 22nd October, 3rd Exhibition Grounds Experimentation Stage. Just waiting for Gregson going, get the fuck out! So that's it, is it? The machine that blew up? Oh, it must have been a magnificent explosion, and I've seen my fair share. You've seen things like this before, you mean? Of course, Howie's always been doing experiments that end in a bang. In fact, in his own words, explosions are the very essence of chemistry. Ah, that might explain the smell of burning that frequently comes wafting up the stairs. Yep, one time he made something that exploded with such force, it took the roof off the building. I wish you'd been there to see it, Bruno. Oh my god, she loves explosions. It's hard to get too excited about that, given that I now live in the roof. Well, anyway, that's enough about that. It's time to investigate. Iris has a boner for explosions. Oh look, Inspector Gregson is over there. He seems to be deep in thought about something, whilst eyeing out the machine carefully. Really? He just looks confused to me. She is the deducer. Probably have to examine and he'll activate. William and Turner. It ripped itself apart magnificently, didn't it? Magnificently? And mercilessly. So someone stands in the middle of the machine to be disassembled and beamed through the air? Yes, beamed. Not blasted. That's the point. Yes, that part's crucial, really. Is something like that even possible, though, Iris? No, Bruno, I'm just a child. How should I know? Oh my god. A child when it suits you, you mean? Right? From what I can tell, I think if you were to pull this... Stop! Don't touch that! That was practically instantaneous kinesis the way you flew over just now, Gwegsy. Please, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you, but I can't let you touch anything up here. So sorry. You can have some of my latest special blend to make up for it. Ah. Look. Look. Wonderful. This stuff really is wonderful. It's just like old times, this is. Now get out! We're representing Professor Harebrain in court tomorrow, Inspector. So we should be allowed to examine the scene. Ah, listen, Sunshine. Even I'm not allowed to touch anything up here. Is that blasted Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act to blame? It's driving me potty. Oh yes, that Special Dispensation. The Professor mentioned that too. More red tape, all that we need. I don't know what the government thinks it's playing at sometimes. But we're allowed to just look, aren't we? Eh? Sorry, that's alright, isn't it, Wagsy? Of course, your ladyship. Anything you say, your ladyship. But please don't get your dainty hands dirty, will you? Don't worry. We weren't touching anything. But what do we want to? She really knows how to get what she wants. Well, let's go ahead and look around. The base. Looking at the base. Considering how badly damaged everything is, Professor Harebrain was lucky to escape unscathed, I'd say. We should have a good look around the machine while we can, I think. Touch anything and I'll make sure I kill you before I get strung up myself, you hear? Gregson is probably one of the best characters. I don't know who beats Gregson right now. Besides Iris, obviously. With his unlimited fish and chips. I won't touch a thing, I promise. So please, spare a thought for your digestion. Hey, anyway, do you really think this machine could actually disassemble people like the professor claims? Hell if I know. Yes, looking totally incredulous. Give it a rest, Sunshine. If we were allowed to examine all this bleeding scrap metal, maybe we could answer that question. But we can't, can we? Because of that annoying rules, what you mean? Exactly! The annoying obstructive flaming rules! Oh, look at the base of the machine there! Oh yes, there's a tool of some kind poking through the wire mesh. It's a screwdriver, I think. Oh, isn't that a lovely one? The handle is in the shape of a capital letter A. It is. Oh yes, you're right. What's the matter with you? Don't touch anything, I said! Touch anything, I'll make sure I kill you before I get struck up myself, I said! Yes, I understand, sorry. I only touched it a teeny-weeny bit. But Quagsy, I'm very curious about the screwdriver. Really, very, very curious. Of course, your ladyship. You're so clever, your ladyship. Fancy spotting something like this. But I'm afraid I can't let you have it. But we'll not find it first. I assure you, I'll investigate it thoroughly. He's gone off with it. That was very mean, I'm afraid. Inspector Gregson is going to make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now. Oh no! Oh no! Poor Gregsy. Look, I did not appreciate her having me do that in the book. Whatever it is. There are all sorts of strange buildings here in the Great Exhibition grounds, aren't there? I'm trying to remember, isn't that a Russian design? I seem to remember something similar being exhibited in Japan one time. Oh, in your country, Luna? I do wish I could go and see it. I present a particular steely samurai with a present of one of her stories I'd written especially. And see if I couldn't get her into a jam against some Baritsu mastered ninjas. Baritsu? You might not find as many of those sort of people around as you think. Oh, well that's dull. Oh, but I do know a prosecutor with a Chanmage top knot I could introduce you to. A Chanmage? Really? Do you think I could have my picture taken with him, do you? Assuming he's recovered from the trim Kazuma gave him a year ago, yes. Potentially, yes. Yeah. Ferris wheel. So scary. What is that gigantic thing over there? It looks like an enormous water wheel. Oh, it's a Ferris wheel. There'll be people riding inside those little cabins you can see. Why? Well, they rotate nice and slowly, so it's a wonderful way to see the surrounding scenery. Wait, it's turning? But it looks completely still. Yes, that's because it's turning so slowly. One complete revolution takes an hour and half an hour. If you were mad enough to go in one, it would be more than fun to whiz around fast, don't you think? I feel as though you might have just invented a new sort of ride there, Uno. Oh no! Oh no! Okay. I don't think there's anything else here. Oh, look at... Yeah, there's something else. This. That amazing horn-shaped device is pointing towards the Crystal Tower. I suppose once people are disassembled by the machine, they're shot out of that thing to wherever they're going. I don't think you're supposed to shoot anything, Uno. It was set up to beam people to the Crystal Tower where they'd be reconstructed in their original form. Well, I don't like the look of it. If it wasn't as amazing as it looks, the accident wouldn't have happened in the first place, of course. I suppose that's true, yes. But nothing ever goes according to plan, does it? Anything else? Balloons. So those are people carrying balloons, dangling silently in the skies over London. I always thought the day would come when humans would discover how to fly. I never imagined it would involve them being suspended from colorful, floating tamari handballs. Oh my god, tamaris. I'm sure it must feel amazing being up there among the clouds. Let's take a ride together, Uno, please? No! If I'm being perfectly honest, I would like to try it. But without a cast iron guarantee that the thing won't plummet to the ground, I'm too scared. Oh, well, in that case, I should tell you that Hoey said... I should tell you what Hoey said. It's physically impossible for a flying balloon to plummet to the ground, as long as it doesn't explode. Oh god. Yes, call me crazy, but I think that exploding part might play on my mind a little. God, the scary thought of being up there and it pops and you just fall to your doom for like those couple seconds of terror, oh god. It's like, ah, splat. Gotta be horrible. Guess there's nothing to do here. Oh, Gregson's here all of a sudden. Alright. Present him nothing. Talk to Gregson. I'll talk to Gregson, that'll be it for the day. Government policy. Using high voltage electricity to somehow disassemble a man's body. And then beam him across to the Crystal Tower. It's an extraordinary thing to attempt, especially in public. True, it was by far the most unusual of the experiments planned for the exhibition, mind. To be honest, I'm a bit surprised it was allowed. Carrying out something so dangerous with so many spectators present, I mean. The government's doing everything it can to promote new science and technology at the moment. They're more worried about being ahead of the game than the old spot of public safety infringements. If they can be the first to develop some new technology, it makes Britain more powerful in the future, you see. Yes, I suppose that's true, in a way. So the powers that be are placing a heavy emphasis on scientists' rights at the moment. What sort of rights? They're making it so that any theories the brains have remained their legal property, as it were. Oh, copyright. Right through developing it into a practical idea and even going into production. Which is the infuriating reason its copies aren't allowed to touch this crime scene. Because the new highfalutin special dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act forbids it. Oh, I see now. As you can see here, I invented these unlimited fish and chips. The only people with permission to investigate here are from some brand new department at the Yard. The Forensic Investigation Team, it's called. We've been relegated to keeping guard. The Forensic Investigation Team? Any old fool can see that this heap of scrap metal was a sham to begin with. But just because it says scientific equipment on the paperwork, we can't do a flaming thing with it. Hi, Gwegsy. He's very het up, isn't he? You mean heated up? Special dispensation. Remind me again, what's this new legal act that means we're not allowed to touch the scene here? Oh, you're having me at it, sunshine. It's the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. I need water. Yes. I think Howie mentioned that recently, with a real twinkle in his eyes, as I remember. I'm sure he did, your ladyship. I'm sure he did. Most especially for this great exhibition it was. All scientists have to do is present their ideas or inventions to some suits in the civil service. And if it gets rubber stamped, it's guaranteed. That's a guaranteed rights to maintain the invention's confidentiality. What does that really mean? Think about it. Think of all of the world-changing new inventions on display every day at this exhibition. Although a good half of them are a load of cobblers, if you ask me, put forward by shammers like yourself. Thanks for that. Oh, I love how obsessed on inventions you are. It's all so fun. It might be fun to you, but a member of the force has to be present at every single demonstration. Can you imagine, eh? Hang science, that's what I say. Oh, I don't think so. That sounds like my dream job. You'd soon think otherwise after spending a day guarding all these shammers' bogus contraptions. But if they're all bogus, how can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There'd be no point. Yeah, well, there's a point, sadly. Sorry? Thanks to enough of our government's bright ideas. If any their invention is deemed to show potential, the government hands out a research grant. The scientists get funded? Exactly, and that's what they're all after. All these shammers coming from far and wide to clog up Hyde Park. And who has to keep them all safe, eh? Who has to smile politely and welcome them? Us coppers, that's who. Haven't seen a smiling cop yet. You can see why I say it now, can't you? Hang science! Hang it! Oh my god. Oh, maybe I can see your point. Professor Harebrain. Apparently Professor Harebrain lives and works in Germany now, conducting his research. That's right. Came back to Britain especially for that great exhibition, as I understand it. Probably after one of the government's research grants. I actually learned something else about the professor earlier today. About his time in further education. It turns out he was at university with someone we both know. Lord von Zeeks. Eh? What's that? That's news to me! But if von Zeeks mans the prosecution, then as the accused, the professor's fate is sealed? Because the Reaper will get him one way or another? Blimey, that man's beyond me. I don't know what goes on in that head is. Talking of von Zeeks, this morning's paper ran the story of him being attacked. Read that? Oh yes, but Mr. Reaper's completely fine. Nothing to worry about. Yes, right. Glad to hear it. Still, the Reaper, eh? How long is that business gonna keep up, I wonder? Mystery of the Reaper. Not this whole time we just all knew it was him. The victim of this case, the investor, Mr. Osmond, he was another of the Reaper's victims, or so I heard. Lord Barak von Zeeks is a top-class prosecutor, but even he can't always push the right verdict through. Sometimes justice can't win. Yes, I've heard about jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified. And that's how the notion of the Reaper of the Bailey came about, isn't it? Obviously, Scotland Yard suspected von Zeeks initially. We all assumed he was taking matters into his own hands if he failed to seal the deal in court. Although the man himself denies that charge. Well, you've done a very thorough investigation, and the conclusion we reached is that Lord von Zeeks is in no way related to the deaths of those people outside the courtroom. There's no question in my mind. I'd stake my reputation on that I would. But if that's true, then how do you explain it? All those defendants couldn't have coincidentally died if nobody killed them. I know that, but I can't explain it. It's a mystery after all, isn't it? That's the whole point of the Reaper. Professor Harebrained mentioned something else. He said that at university, Lord Von Zieks was a totally different person. Easygoing and kind. Yo, what? He said it was after they both graduated that something happened to change the man. Do you have any idea what it was? No clue. Really? Look, I've got my hands full watching over this frustrating crime scene. Why'd you go and make a nuisance of yourself elsewhere, eh? Right. Are you done here, Mr. Nutodo? Sorry? Isn't it about time you were leaving? Or rather, it is about time you were leaving. That lot are here, though. That lot? The forensic investigation team. They'll be giving me the Evo in a minute, too. Oh dear. Poor Gwagsy. Here, have another cup of my special blend to cheer you up. Oh my god. Glug, 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 glug. That hit the spot. Yep, hits it every time. Well, at least I've seen the scene with my own eyes. Looks like this is as far as we're going to get with our investigation here, at least. I've been thinking. Howie might know something, mightn't he? About what? About Mr. Weeper. But about what happened to Lord Von Zieks, you mean? Because it sounds like something very significant occurred after he graduated from university. Something that completely changed his life. Maybe, but I have no idea where to find Mr. Sholmes at the moment. He's in the middle of some big case, isn't he? Madame Tuspells? Yeah, it is what you need. What's this? Some kind of entrance ticket? Madame Tuspells? Is this supposed to mean something to me? You don't know it? It's the most popular attraction in Wonder at the moment. It's very close to Baker Street, actually. We could go now if you like. No, we don't have time for visiting attractions today, Iris. We have a big trial tomorrow. But that's where Howie is. What? At this popular London attraction? Yes. How is it that you know where he is? Oh, he told me. But he told me to keep it a secret from you, Uno. What? Madame Tuspells? I don't see how it could be related to the case we're investigating here, but then... stranger things have happened, and when they happen, Mr. Sholmes is usually at the heart of them. Off we go! Okay, so that'll be next time. New case has been added. A museum of interesting wax... Yep! Yeah, I knew it. Madame Tussauds. Interesting waxworks exhibits not far from Baker Street. It became a very popular London attraction in recent years. I do not care for Madame Tussauds' freaking waxworks. They're just, Here's where Howie is. I'd love to know what he's up to, wouldn't you? Yes, that'll be next time, so let's go ahead and save the game for now. So, I had fun. Hope you had fun watching. That's what's up, as it. Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.